Hello everyone, this is Urvashi Chauhan and you are watching Courts Today by Livelaw, your one-step destination to all legal developments in the country. The Supreme Court today refused to entertain the petition filed by YouTuber Manish Kashyap seeking to club the FIRs registered against him in Bihar and Tamil Nadu over spreading fake news. As you are aware, this is regarding the videos of Hindi-speaking migrant workers allegedly being attacked in Tamil Nadu, which were shared widely on social media in March this year. They were eventually debunked as fake by fact-checkers and the State Police Department, but not before causing widespread panic. It was alleged that Manish Kashyap spread fake news about the attacks on migrant workers from Bihar in Tamil Nadu through videos uploaded on his YouTube channel. Various FIRs were filed against him and he has also been detained under the National Security Act (NSA). Today, the bench comprising Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud, Justice P.S. Narasimha and Justice J.B. Pardiwala refused to entertain his petition to club the various FIRs filed in states of Bihar and Tamil Nadu and also refused to entertain his plea to quash the detention under National Security Act over the allegations. The bench firmly stated, and I quote, "You can't create disquiet in a stable state like Tamil Nadu." The bench has, however, granted Kashyap the liberty to move the High Court to seek the reliefs. And now coming to an update on the recent violence in Manipur. You must have seen the recent tweet by boxer Mary Kom seeking help from the central government saying, "My state Manipur is burning, kindly help." The matter is that recently the Manipur High Court directed the state government to recommend the union government to include Meitei community, a non-tribal group, in the scheduled tribe list. Post this, a protest march was organized by the Kuki, a tribal group, to oppose the demand for the inclusion of the Meitei community in the scheduled tribe list. The protest march sparked clashes between the two groups, resulting in widespread damage to the vehicles and properties. At least 54 people have reportedly been killed and around 23,000 have been displaced, most of them sheltering in army camps. A bench comprising CJI D.Y. Chandrachud, Justice P.S. Narasimha and Justice J.B. Pardiwala was today considering two petitions on this issue. One filed by Manipur Tribal Forum Delhi seeking SIT probe into the violence and relief for the victims. The second one by Chairman of the Hill Areas Committee of the Manipur Legislative Assembly challenging the direction of the Manipur High Court. While recording the statement of the union government that no violence has taken place in the state of Manipur during the last 2 days, the Supreme Court today asked it to ensure that due arrangements be made in relief camps in terms of food and medicines. The court further told the union government to ensure that steps are taken to rehabilitate displaced persons and to protect places of worship. The matter has now been posted for 17th May. In another update, the Supreme Court today reserved its judgment on a batch of petitions challenging the third extension given to the term of Enforcement Directorate Chief S.K. Mishra and also challenging the Central Vigilance Commission Amendment Act 2021. A three-judge bench of Justices B.R. Gawai, Vikram Nath and Sanjay Karol heard the matter. The central government has been embroiled in a prolonged political controversy over its decision to extend Mishra's tenure, who was first appointed in November 2018. According to the appointment order, he was set to retire 2 years later on reaching the age of 60 years. However, in November 20, the government retrospectively revised the order, increasing his tenure from 2 years to 3 years. The recent amendment to the Central Vigilance Commission Act has also been challenged before the Apex Court in at least 8 separate public interest litigations, saying that it conferred unfettered discretion on the union over the appointment and tenure of the directors of CBI and ED, and therefore allegedly compromising the independence of the investigative bodies. The centre told the Supreme Court that the petitions were motivated by oblique political interests since they had been filed by and on behalf of petitioners belonging to the political parties whose leaders were currently being investigated on charges of money laundering. For more updates on the matter, stay tuned with Livelaw. Now coming to an update on the PIL filed by Archbishop of Bangalore Diocese along with the National Solidarity Forum and the Evangelical Fellowship of India against violence and targeted hate speech against Christian community by vigilante groups and members of right-wing organizations. The plea seeks directions to stop alleged attacks against Christian priests and Christian institutions across the country. Now, the petitioners, through their rejoinder, have urged the Supreme Court to appoint a monitoring agency to effectively supervise the criminal investigations taking place in troubled spots in the country. Though the Union government in its counter affidavit denies any such persecution against Christians, and according to the government, the PIL relies on baseless and unverified reports, the petitioners have requested that a retired judge of the Supreme Court be appointed to be the monitoring agency of all hate crimes, with a mandate to appoint distinguished police officers who can effectively supervise the investigation in these cases. We will keep you updated with further developments in the case. The National President of Indian Youth Congress, Srinivas BV, has approached the Supreme Court seeking relief in respect of the FIR registered against him in Assam on a sexual harassment complaint lodged by an expelled party member. Before this, he had approached the Guwahati High Court to quash the FIR, but his petition was dismissed and he was also denied anticipatory bail. Interestingly, while dismissing the petition, the bench had also expressed disapproval of Srinivas's lawyer for suggesting that judges on the verge of retirement will pass orders favoring the government in hope of post-retirement benefits. Today, the matter was mentioned before the CJI for urgent listing, and the CJI agreed to list the matter on May 15th. The Supreme Court today asked the trial court in Kerala to complete the trial in the Malayalam actor assault case by July 31st this year. The case relates to the kidnap and sexual assault of a female actor at the outskirts of Kochi in February 2017. Malayalam actor Dileep is alleged to be the mastermind behind the crime and is facing trial for criminal conspiracy. Some fresh allegations were raised by film director Bal Chandra Kumar in December 2021, and recently, on the basis of the same, the trial court had allowed further investigation in the case. Today, a bench of Justices Dinesh Maheshwari and Sanjay Kumar asked the trial judge to submit a fresh report on the progress of the trial by August 4th. The court was considering a plea moved by the Malayalam actor seeking the completion of trial pending before the trial court within the prescribed time limit. And now coming to an update on the plea before the Supreme Court challenging premature release of the former Bihar MP Anand Mohan in the case of mob lynching of Gopalganj District Magistrate G. Krishnaiah in 1994. You already know that G. Krishnaiah was killed after an attack by a mob which was led by Anand Mohan. He was sentenced to life imprisonment for the offence. However, he walked out of jail on April 24th this year after serving 14 years of imprisonment because of the remission of sentence granted by the Bihar government. The petition challenging this has been filed by Uma Krishnaiah, the widow of the deceased district magistrate. The petition states that amendment of the state remission policy to facilitate Mohan's release is contrary to public policy and would amount to demoralizing public servants. Today, a bench comprising Justice Suryakant and Justice J.K. Maheshwari issued notice in the petition and also allowed the intervention application filed by a retired IAS officer who filed it in person, but to the extent of providing assistance to the court. The Supreme Court today expressed its strong displeasure at the Bar Association of Bharatpur, Rajasthan for passing resolutions to obstruct the work of lawyers appointed as volunteers under the Legal Aid Defence Council system of the National Legal Services Authority. This newly introduced scheme engages lawyers full-time to exclusively devote their effort to provide legal aid, assistance and representation to persons accused or convicted of crimes. This is vastly different from the most popular model of dispensing legal aid, which is by assigning cases to empaneled lawyers who also have private practices. Lawyers in Bharatpur have been striking in protest against this scheme in the district. When the recruitment process was initiated, the collective leadership of the associations registered a protest against it and had issued resolutions to obstruct the work of lawyers appointed as volunteers under the scheme. A contempt petition was then filed by a number of public defenders from Bharatpur, alleging that the District Bar Association and its office bearers had been illegally restraining them from discharging their duties. The petitioners, who were appointed as public defenders under the Nalsa scheme, complained that they were suspended from the association for not following its diktats. Today, the Supreme Court bench comprising CJI Chandrachud and Justices P.S. Narasimha and J.B. Pardewala directed the Bar Association to withdraw the resolution and observed that passing such resolutions amount to sheer contempt of court. And now coming to an update on the recent judgments passed by the Supreme Court regarding default bail. You must already know that in the case of Ritu Chhabria versus Union of India and others, a bench comprising Justices Krishna Murari and C.T. Ravi Kumar last month held that an incomplete charge sheet filed by the investigating agency without completing the investigation will defeat the right of the accused for default bail. Solicitor General Tushar Mehta had mentioned before a bench comprising CJI Chandrachud and Justice J.B. Pardewala the difficulties faced by the central agencies due to the Ritu Chhabria judgment. He stated that every investigation could not be completed within 60 or 90 days, and the agencies had the right to seek further investigation under Section 173(8) of CRPC. The bench had then asked for the matter to be listed before a 3-judge bench on May 4th and had clarified that the applications for default bail based on the Ritu Chhabria judgment to be deferred or postponed till 4th of May. Last week, the Apex Court had extended the deferment till 12th May. Today, the Campaign for Judicial Accountability and Reforms CJAR urged the Supreme Court to recall its order postponing grant of default bails to accused all across the nation. It said that a recall application against the final judgment of the Supreme Court, which in this case has been filed by the central government, is not maintainable and the registry should not have registered the same. The only remedy for the aggrieved party, that is the government, was to file a review application under Article 137 of the Constitution. Accordingly, CJAR appealed to the benches, which passed the orders dated 1st and 4th May, to suo motu recall the said order as those suffer from impropriety and lack of jurisdiction. Stay tuned for more updates on the case. In another update, the Supreme Court today issued notice in the special leave petition filed by M. Sivasankar, who is the former Principal Secretary to the Chief Minister of Kerala, in the money laundering case in connection with the Life Mission corruption case. Life Project is a housing project initiated by the Kerala government for the homeless. A bench of Justices V. Ram Subramanian and Pankaj Mittal issued notice returnable by May 17th after Sivasankar's lawyer, senior advocate Jaideep Gupta, requested for an early posting date to consider his plea for interim bail on medical grounds. The SLP filed is challenging the Kerala High Court's order, which had rejected Sivasankar's bail application earlier. And now coming to an update from the Delhi High Court. The Delhi High Court today dismissed a public interest litigation seeking introduction of legal studies compulsory as an elective or optional subject in all schools. A division bench of Chief Justice Satish Chandra Sharma and Justice Subramaniam Prasad said that the subject matter is purely in the domain of the government and that such direction cannot be issued by the court. And now coming to an update from the Calcutta High Court. The Calcutta High Court today allowed Manrega workers to hold a sit-in demonstration for 12 days at Sahid Minar grounds in Kolkata over non-payment of their wages and non-commissioning of their work. The bench of Justice Raj Shekhar Mantha ordered this while dealing with a writ petition filed by Paschim Banga Khet Mazdoor Samiti and another who were earlier denied permission to hold the protest by the local administration. And lastly, coming to the news from Delhi. The Bar Council of Delhi today told the Delhi High Court that it is reconsidering the recent notification making the filing of Aadhaar card and voter ID bearing address of Delhi or NCR region mandatory for future enrollments. The council appearing for lawyers' body told Justice Pratibha M. Singh that the matter will be reconsidered by the Bar Council of Delhi in a meeting to be held on May 12th. The court was hearing two pleas moved by law graduates challenging the notification as discriminatory against those law graduates who do not have an address in Delhi or NCR, and also creating an arbitrary classification between the law graduates based on their residential address. Thank you for watching. If you wish to know more details about the cases I mentioned here, you can check the links given in the description box. Stay ahead with quick legal updates only on Live Law. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe and support us.